Tell us a little bit about what you saw and being able to relay that message to Cora when you watched Kimbrel pitch and kind of help out so he wasn't tipping his pitches.
So tipping pitches, we hear about it all the time.
People at home understand what tipping pitches is all about.
It's amazing.
And that's remarkable.
Alex, you know, I hate to start every episode of this podcast with a very niche New York reference, coastal elite point of view and perspective on the world, but I have to say,
no, you don't.
I don't hate it, or I don't have to say.
You
I
don't
could
hate
just
it.
stop talking.
Well, I suppose that as well.
No, I do hate it, you know, because we have listeners all across this country, all across this world. You know, we got people listening far and wide. I don't know exactly where, but presumably not in the United States. Good for you guys. I just have to say, it's too cold, man. It's too cold. It's ruining my whole vibe. My body's like slow to wake up in the morning. My brain's a little slower. It's cold. I'm just wondering what's going on with the whole global warming phenomenon. What's going on with climate change, right? Here I am. I was led to believe it's getting hotter. And I look outside and it's very cold. So I often feel stumped, like I'm left without answers when it comes to climate change.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, something really important happened, which was that MLB Players Incorporated inked a deal to have AI-generated player avatars that you can talk to and interact with. Each AI character will reflect the player's voice and interests. They can chat and charge for interactions with fans. So I headed on over, and I used the Tipping Pitches business card to ask our friend Angelton Simmons, what's going on with global warming? Me and Blake Tronin are trying to figure out who's turning the weather machine the wrong direction, Alex.
Jesus Christ. You're asking the wrong guy. You should be asking Mike Trout. You don't even need to use the AI machine.
Oh, so true.
You can just ask him directly.
How? How can I get in touch with Mr. Trout?
You're verified. He should see your reply on X the Everything app.
I'm not verified. I haven't been for like 5 years.
Oh, right. Because you hid the check mark because you were too embarrassed about it, right?
Stop.
I see that $8 a month charge pop up on our card.
Why was I ever verified in the first place? What were we doing? What was that? Why was I verified?
I can't answer that for you. This is awesome. Also, like the story. So I think you mentioned, or maybe not. I wasn't really listening. That the company is called Genies, right? And they create these avatars, and you can chat with them via text, via voice. They are meant to mimic the real life mannerisms and perspectives. It's a little unclear what you're supposed to be able to talk with these people about. Like, is it going to have Freddie Freeman's interests and intellect and veneers? Like,
Freddie Freeman's going to want to talk to you about Quebecois freedom.
Probably, as he should.
I found this line in the Associated Press news brief write-up of this quite sinister. Quote, Genies, this is the company that Alex made reference to, Genies will have the ability to charge for chat interactions, in-app experiences, and digital goods. What does that mean? We've fallen so far. Like, I'm being charged for digital goods in my interaction with AI Brett Beatty.
Right.
What is he? Is he giving me a digital good?
Super cool company, Genies, who initially
looked into them?
Who initially raised money in 2022 as a metaverse / Web3 company. Like, we are just checking all the boxes right now.
How's it going for Web3 these days?
Have they done NFTs? If not, I think that's on the horizon.
It feels like that's the digital goods that they're referring to. What else?
Probably.
What other digital goods could they send me?
Friendship? Companionship?
Not a digital good.
Hmm.
A metaphysical good. Not metaverse, metaphysical.
Ooh, interesting.
Spiritual.
Intriguing. How long would it take to get from the psychology Wikipedia page to metaphysical?
Not long at all. Not as long as it took to get to Dunning-Kruger effect.
This venture is also backed by Bob Iger and Silver Lake, which...
Did Bob Iger just read one AI article and get AI pilled? Because Disney is now part of ChatGPT too, or whatever, Sora.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I don't know.
I was led to believe that Bob Iger was a titan of industry, protecting Hollywood, swooping back in after the strikes and the shutdowns to save our dying industry. And yet, he loves Genie and Sora.
Whom among us?
You really did your homework on Genie.
Of course. Look, if there's one thing this podcast is known for, it's leaving no stone unturned, for better or for worse. Did I give them my real 10-digit phone number to sign up for first access to the Genie's AI avatars? It's possible.
Longer than I want to admit to decide whether or not a 10-digit phone number was a normal phone number. Like, I don't know why you specified that it was 10 digits. I was like, is this like a fake number is this like a fax number?
Maybe you edit it out, maybe you don't, but it took me about 5 seconds to do the mental math of 3 plus 3 plus 4 of all the digits in a phone number.
That's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one, definitely. Bob Iger and then Silver Lake, whose name may ring a bell because them through Endeavor, but also not anymore, but previously at one point and still technically is the holding company of Diamond Baseball Holdings.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you.
So was that their seed round of investment, or was that Series C? Our favorite series.
That was their Series C, I believe.
Was it actually?
I think so, yeah.
Let's go. Series C funding is so back.
Mm-hmm.
How do these companies get chosen?
Chosen what? By like the league? By the Players Association?
Yeah, yes. How do they get the contracts? Like Genies is something I haven't heard of, and it seems like previously they've just failed in most of their swings. Yeah. Most of their forays into much of anything at all, they failed.
Yeah.
Okay. Web3 didn't work out. Now we're on are we on Web 4 yet? Someone check in with Mark Zuckerberg whether or not we're on Web 4.
That's a good question.
I need the rest of the world to chill out for like a year so that like Andrew Ross Sorkin can spend some time looking into the contracts that MLB signs with these different companies and uncover something. Because he's too busy like turning over the fact that I don't know what he's writing about, that like some investment bank is doing some illegal scheme in the Middle East or something, or the Trump administration is taking open bribes from the Middle East or something. I want Andrew Ross Sorkin to hone his laser in on why and how Rob Manfred and his crony cadre of technocrats choose these companies, choose Genie, choose Pitchcom, for example. How'd they land on Pitchcom? I don't know. You go to Pitchcom's website. Doesn't seem like something that should have gotten a contract with MLB. I don't know. I know our friend Bradford William Davis is listening to this right now being like, I'm doing this, guys.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I'm doing this
finding
work
it out
right now. And no one wants to fund it.
I think this can only end positively. Famously, celebrity AI avatars usually go really well. They went really well for Meta.
It went really well for the Jeremy Renner app.
Uh-huh.
But you didn't think you were going to hear the words Jeremy Renner app in the cold open of a baseball podcast that you downloaded?
I certainly didn't think my co-host was going to be the one to say it.
God, I missed that app. You could really chart the downfall of this country to the shuddering of the Jeremy Renner app.
Well, I never
1 to
deleted it
1.
from my phone, so I'm still
still
on
have
there. It's just me and a handful of others. You know, they
can't tell if
never
you're
told
being
us the war
serious.
is over.
I can't tell if you're being serious.
No, I'm not being serious.
God, I wish you were, though. I wish
I
you
know.
were on the Jeremy Renner app. You could have been viral on there. I don't know if you can go viral on the Jeremy Renner app. I don't know how it's structured. Is it like Letterboxd where you can't DM people?
Yeah, it's a good question. If you, humble listener, have used the Jeremy Renner app, 785-422-5881. As baseball season rolls
That's
around,
our 10-digit phone
this
number, everyone.
is what we need to know. That's all 10 digits.
Okay, we have a fun, I guess, little rundown of topics to talk about today. We have some salary arbitration wins for the Major League Baseball players. We have an update on the gambling scandal that was previously heard around the world and now is making no noise, Emmanuel Clase's gambling scandal. And of course, we got some new renderings. But before we can talk about any of that, I'm Bobby Wagner.
I'm Alex Baisley.
And you're listening to Tipping Pitches. Thank you to this week's new patrons, Dave and Ben. Thank you, Dave and Ben. What should we talk about first? Salary arb? When
No.
in doubt, it always feels like salary arb's the first thing we should talk about.
I know I said that we should talk about this first, but we're not talking about this first because, Bobby, I want to talk about something first. Our long national nightmare is over. Ladies and gentlemen, decorated broadcaster Bob Costas is returning to NBC Sports as the host of the Sunday Night Baseball pregame show leading into games on NBC. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Baseball's A-lister will be back on your screens in no time.
He's so much not an A-lister that he's been on our screens. He was calling playoff games for the last 2 years, and it didn't even make an impact on you. That's exciting news, I guess.
Yeah, but he's coming out of retirement. I guess he retired generally.
You know, this is the thing. Retirement these days doesn't mean anything. People are always retiring, but doing one sort of part-time project. Are you going to retire or not, Bob?
Yeah.
The Olympics are going on. He's not covering them. Either come out of retirement and cover the Olympics with pink eye or stay off my screen on Sunday Night Baseball. Those are your two choices. Imagine if you had a whole decorated career of being the voice of Major League Baseball for a whole decades of Olympic coverage.
Mm-hmm.
You're in people's homes every night, and the thing that two doofuses like you and me remember him for is having pink eye.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Should have made some more memorable moments. I don't know what to tell you.
No, he should have taken the week off of work. There will be other Olympics.
This is why he's an A-lister.
Are you watching the Olympics right now?
Not particularly.
You never just say no. What does not particularly mean in this context?
To a certain extent.
And you never just say yes either. I watched curling.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. didn't have the juice.
No.
They weren't built for the moment. I was watching mixed doubles curling, and the U.S. dropped it to South Korea, a team that had not won a match yet.
Wow.
In the Olympic round robin.
Brutal.
Absolutely brutal.
They
And
asked
you and
us.
I know all about curling.
We do.
Because we have curled.
We've curled before, many a time.
I was shocked at how similar it looked to when we were doing it. It's like, that's curling.
Uh-huh.
If we went to a gym right now and shot hoops, it wouldn't look like the NBA, okay? But what we were doing looked exactly like what they're doing. I mean, they're much better in the
Right,
result.
but do you think there are pro curlers who would look at what we were doing and be like, Jesus Christ, look at that awful form?
Well, obviously, yes.
Okay. You're just saying to the untrained eye.
I mean, the
You thought
ice
we were
looked
killing
the
it.
same.
The
The stones looked
it tends
exactly
to do that.
the same.
Yes.
I don't
All
know. I
the
was just like,
materials did look the same.
the guys, they just kind of looked like us, you know? They didn't really, if you just walk by them on the street and be like, that's an Olympic athlete. But
yeah.
they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're elite athletes. I'll give them that. Curling is fire.
Now, next Olympics.
Mm.
Podcasting? Bit of a
Right.
sport, I might say.
I think podcasting does need more attention.
Right.
And I think we should continue to expand the definition of what podcasting is. It's just been way too narrow for too long.
I agree. The sport I'm referencing is hunting podcasters for sport. I want to be very clear about that.
You can't joke about that these days. They probably passed a law that says you're not allowed to joke about hunting podcasters since the last time we talked about this.
No, I've never really been a Winter Olympics sports guy.
Me either.
I'm not really like a winter sports guy in general.
Or you're just not a winter guy.
I'm not a winter guy, right? Yeah. I'm not really a guy in general.
Do I even exist? You just didn't have the weather to get you in the mood for Olympic sports.
Correct.
In your privileged, coddled environment of Berkeley, California.
That's
You
right.
knew nothing about ice. The things that you didn't know about hay rides, ice, and football. Like, we haven't even mentioned the fact that the Super Bowl is tonight.
That's true. You're all squared away on Kelce.
Me and Giannis,
Yeah.
we placed some wagers. I'm decked out in my Drake May gear. Once the Patriots bring it home,
Who's Drake
Bob
May?
Kraft are hopping on the PJ to go hang out with Netanyahu.
Is he a quarterback?
Drake May?
Yeah.
Yes.
For the Patriots,
Correct.
obviously.
Based on that elaborate bit that I just did about Netanyahu that went straight past you.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. No, of course, I'm rooting for the Seahawks. Can you name any players on the Seahawks? You got one on the Patriots. That was pretty good. Better than I would have guessed.
Who? Drake May?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of gave me his name. I had a 50-50 shot with that one.
Oh, was I the first one that said Drake May?
You were the first one who said Drake May's name. Yeah.
Do you know where Drake May went to college?
Alabama.
No. North Carolina.
We're
just doing
that
trivia.
was going to be my second guess.
I didn't have like a follow-up on that. I just wanted to know if you knew where he went.
No, I can't name a Seahawks player. Sorry.
Not one.
No.
Okay. I'll just let you keep living in darkness.
I'm living in light, brother.
Where were we? We were talking about salary arbitration, or I was trying to talk about salary arbitration.
Yeah.
You were trying to get a sidetrack on the Kalshi thing.
No, I was trying to get you sidetracks on Costas.
This is true. Do you think Costas has ever placed a wager on Kalshi?
Oh God. Don't silly that man's legacy.
Is he a guy that you're like, I like him personally? I'm so interested in your obsession with Costas. I am really curious to see who they decide to put in the booths now that they're establishing new broadcast booths. I mean, I know we've gotten the news about Votto is going to be calling games, but you know, there will also be like secondary booths. So it's a lot of job openings when it comes to national broadcasting that haven't really been there for the last, I don't know, several years at least. The last major one that I can think of that it was a booth that was sort of formed out of thin air was the Apple TV Plus booth, which I actually quite liked.
Yeah.
I liked their presentation of the games, other than the odds in the corner.
You know, if you're looking to put together a booth of broadcasters, might I suggest turning to two young whippersnappers who have experience filling air for 3 hours at a time on a regular basis?
I don't think the Chapo Trap House guys would know enough about baseball to do that.
All right. Do you want to talk arbitration?
How many games do you think we could, if they were like, if someone waved a magic wand and we just got hired into that job, how many games, if nothing else changed, how many games before we got fired? One? Would we get fired halfway through the first game? Would they feign technical difficulty to take the broadcast off the air and start playing like, you know, Black Adam or something instead?
Yeah, I don't think we'd make
Batman
it out of like,
versus
the fourth
Superman,
inning.
2019.
No, yeah. But that's okay. That's not
You
what
said
we're
the
there
fourth
for.
inning?
Yeah. Well, I think the problem is like once a guy comes up for the second time around, once we've gone through the order once, I'm out of. I need more bits. I need 4 separate riffs for this one guy every time he comes to the plate.
See, I don't think you needed any bits. I think you're just supposed to talk about what's happening. This is
Then
always
why'd they hire us?
This is always our critique of they hired us because this is a hypothetical situation that I'm asking you about. This was always our critique of the ESPN booth where they felt like they had 4 stories that they had to tell about each guy.
Mhm.
And if you don't know, if you haven't heard yet, let me just fill you in on Sean Manaea. This is a guy that people really like. Look at that smile. He's from
See,
Indiana.
You'd be great at it. You're making it the whole game.
No. People who have come to our watch-alongs over the years know that I'm not making it the whole game as a play-by-play broadcaster.
Unless you like talking about milk
Burritos,
and burritos, mostly.
your favorite combination.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess we should talk about arbitration. This is the real thing that would get us fired. Is like Skubal would be pitching and we would be doing a victory lap about him winning his arbitration case.
Yeah.
And Chris Illich would have us sniped out of the booth.
I was scrolling Instagram Reels the other day because I'm on Instagram Reels more than I should be.
How much?
Like actually a decent amount.
Do you still have your screen time tracker on?
Yeah, I do. Do you want to take
I
a
shut
look at
mine
it?
off. Yeah, I shut mine
Although-
off, but
although
I want to
you-
hear what yours is.
Although it's not going to distinguish, I don't think, what's Instagram and what is like.
Instagram Reels. You'll just have to be forthcoming with us about what the percentage of your time on Instagram is spent scrolling Reels.
Instagram, my most used app this past week.
That's dark.
Insane.
That's dark.
That's really actually kind of depressed. Now I'm a little embarrassed I said that out loud. That's pretty depressing.
What's second? FanDuel? Genie? The Genie app?
No, it's the game that I play. My little iPhone game. I love.
Oh,
I
you
love
got
a cheat.
games on your
I love.
phone?
I love. I got games on my phone. I love a cheeky little game. And then
I don't play.
and then,
I can't play phone games. I just get really frustrated.
no, every little tweak they make to make me more addicted works like a charm.
Like all the haptics and
Oh
all
my
of
God,
the bright
yeah.
colors and all that stuff that works on you.
I don't even like playing the game itself. I like doing all the mini challenges to like get more coins and stuff. And I'm like, eventually I'm going to be really good at the actual game itself. But for now, I'm opening so many chests, man. You have no idea.
You've gotten
I'm stacking that
king
gold
out of the sewer so many times in the ad.
exactly. Dude, I love playing the mini games when the ads come up. I like when they actually let you play it instead of just showing a video of the game.
Well, because those games are always more fun than the actual game itself if you were to download it.
Right.
That one where there's like an army of people marching at you and you're just like shooting at
Yep.
them. Come on, that's
Mhm.
so fun.
It's so good. I would download an app that actually was just like minute long ads from each game. It's like a little sampler platter, you know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, I'm your core demographic, marketers. I will give you my 10-digit phone number.
I really think that you should invest more time into playing your Switch because a lot of Switch games are like how you're describing.
That's true.
That's why I play
Yeah.
the Switch.
Yeah.
Instead of doing this should we stop? Should we cancel this podcast and just play the Switch with each other for 2 hours every Sunday?
I am, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant this one right here because I was about to
No,
say,
I
I'm
meant
done.
just
I
in
don't really have anything
general.
else to say anyway.
We haven't even gotten to any of our topics yet. Why were you talking about Instagram Reels? Is that where you learned that Tarik Skubal won his arbitration case?
Oh, no.
From a
No.
John Boy video on Instagram Reels?
Don't get me started on John Boy these days, man.
Now I don't want to do nothing but get you started on John Boy.
No, it was a video that was resurfaced from the World Series, and it was
Wait, I thought
Fuck.
they didn't have the World Series last year because the Dodgers ruined baseball, so they just canceled it
right. They just canceled it. Yeah.
and they didn't play it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess it was a figment of my imagination then.
Like most
Along
things
with the
that we talk
Instagram
about.
reel. Mhm.
I'm not even real. I don't know who you're talking to right now. Tell people what the Instagram reel was.
Look, it was Trey Savage facing off against Shohei Ohtani, and it was MLB on Fox. It was one of those things where above each player's head there was like a little ticker that showed like how much money they were earning in that moment. And it got me like, I know this, it was posted like 5 months ago. I shouldn't be like mad about it now, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe Like, I don't hate the idea, actually. I just think we need to reframe it a little bit. Like, I want to see how much money Tarik Skubal screwed the Illiches out of in arbitration while he pitches. That's what I want to know. You understand what I'm saying?
Sort of. You want a ticker over top Skubal's head every pitch he throws. This is how much more he made from that pitch because he won his arbitration case.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Here's my note.
Okay.
It's a touch high concept. Now, I say
Do you think
that
it
as
might
someone
just
who
end up replicating the thing that I was just complaining about?
sort of. Well, I think it wouldn't quite work as well when a player loses his arbitration case, which so far has not happened.
Wow, is that true?
Okay, Skubal won, Yainer Diaz won, Kyle Bradish won, Graham Ashcraft won, Edwin Uceda won, and Keegan Aiken lost his arbitration case. Now, my note about it being high concept, I'm fully aware that I, alongside you, have built a podcast about extremely high concept baseball finance rules.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So I'd like the video. That'd be great. We might have like 7 likes. Most of our posts get like 38 likes. Like strong 38, you know? We're stronger together than we are separate.
Oh, that was the note. Just that it wasn't going to get much engagement?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Well, the engagement that it would get, though, I think people would be confused at what they were seeing.
Okay, so it wouldn't even be good engagement. All right, fine.
Or maybe it would be the best engagement, because I think that immediate confusion drives time spent or something, consumption hours.
Do a little vague
where you're trying
posting.
to figure something out, and it's
Yeah.
just replaying the video. This is much like how you spent hours and hours this past week watching clavicular videos because you didn't know what gesture maxing was.
Okay. Well, it's gesture gooning, first of all.
Well, gesture gooning is a derivative of gesture maxing, obviously.
Oh, right.
You can't get to gesture gooning without gesture maxing first.
So in arbitration, the Tigers filed for $19 million.
Crazy low.
Crazy low. Tarik Skubal wins the highest arbitration case of all time.
Well, no. Highest for a pitcher. Highest gap between the two numbers that were filed. I'm pretty sure Ohtani made more, right? Oh, nope.
No, I don't think so.
I'm wrong. Leaving it all in. It's just the process. This is how we come to consensus on the left. That's what it looks like.
That's authenticity right there.
Take that to your DSA meetings, everyone. See, I was doing inflation adjusted salary.
Oh,
like
right.
Ohtani
Yeah.
beat it
That's
in
usually how you
today's
think
money.
about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible calling of a bluff from Scott Boras. Basically saying this guy has won back-to-back Cy Youngs. Are you really going to tell me he's not worth this? And Dark Woke reached the arbitrator's office. It did.
You know, I was talking about this with a friend after the news broke, and I was like, "This rocks." I'm so happy that the arbitrator sided with Skubal and Boris and the MLBPA versus the Tigers. I do wonder whether or not we're overstating the shifting of the Overton window or the shifting of the salary arbitration balance of power, because there is something that is so flagrantly out of step with offering 19 million versus what Skubal are filed at for 32. And I suppose you could make the counter argument being there is something that is flagrantly bold about Skubal filing for the highest arbitration salary ever when he has not had as many years of arbitration because he wasn't a Super 2 guy, and he's a pitcher, so it's harder to build that case because he only plays in every 5 games. But all that to say, I think the Tigers filing at 19 just felt so low, because 19 million in the context of current salaries is not a lot. Obviously, they're not factoring in the deal that Kyle Tucker just signed like a week ago, but 19 million would be he would be paid a third of what the highest paid player in baseball is paid. That's silly. That's silly. And I think almost optically, if the Tigers filed at like 22 or 23 or 22-5, they probably win this case. So it's a combination of like, yes, Skubal has a great case to present, and he is presenting it tenaciously and boldly alongside his agent, Scott Boras. But I also think it's a little bit of mismanagement from the Tigers in terms of them working with outdated information about how much arbitration benefits them.
Yeah, well, I think they underestimated what Boras was going to push for. And it's sort of crucial to understand that in submitting this salary number of 32 million, Boras is getting creative with the CBA a little bit. I said getting creative is not really the right word for it because he's using it as it's written, but he's basically sort of using a clause that allows players with 5 or more years of service time to compare themselves to free agent classes, not just similar arbitration cases, right? Players sort of in the same class. And you can do this if you can sort of demonstrate that this player has achieved these, that the player has accomplished these special achievements, such as winning Cy Young awards, such as winning back-to-back Cy Young awards. So Boras and Skubal are able to enter the room and essentially use someone like Zach Wheeler and his free agent contract as a reasonable comp for what Skubal has to get paid here. So,
which is crazy because Zach Wheeler got fucked out of multiple Cy Youngs and has none. Zach Wheeler has never won a Cy Young, which is crazy.
I know. That is insane to me. But still, Skubal can point to Zach Wheeler's 42 million AAV and say, this is reasonably what I should be getting as like a comparable market salary. And that argument had sway. I don't know if the Tigers did not think that his Cy Youngs were going to become relevant
which is crazy
in the discussion.
Like, it's one of the last things that you can actually cite in arbitration.
Right,
you can cite fucking pitcher wins, strikeouts, and awards. Like that's basically it. ERA. But I think your point is well taken about comping yourself on the higher end to Wheeler. I will say though, on the downside end, I still maintain that where the Tigers filed is more responsible for them losing than any positive argument that Boras and Skubal made on behalf of Skubal. Because the previous record holder for a pitcher in salary arbitration was David Price, $19.75 million. Price had come off a Cy Young as well, and he had 1 extra year of salary arbitration because he had achieved Super 2 status.
By the way, that is 10 years ago. This is back in 2015.
Yeah, I think the case was in 14, but it was for the 2015
for the 2015 season.
So actually 11 years ago, which is crazy. But 2014, great year. That was the year we met.
That's right, it was.
And we were talking about David Price then, and we're talking about David Price now. That's exactly what was happening. Filing lower than the guy who made this salary 11 years ago.
Crazy.
That argument just does not carry water narratively. I mean, logically, you have to do so much extra legwork to talk yourself into why Skubal should make less than David Price. Just present those numbers to a random person who knows nothing about this and be like, should the guy who's the best pitcher in baseball now make less than the guy who was the best pitcher in baseball 11 years ago in the exact same process? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
And that's why they lost. So just file higher and be like, well, this is basically the Price contract adjusted for inflation.
Yep.
That's all they had to do. And they didn't do it because they're greedy, and all teams are greedy. And they want to slowly beat back the players from thinking that they have any right to progress through systems like this. And that's why I constantly argue in defense of arbitration. It's one of the last structures that we have in professional sports that isn't just a cookie cutter, stamp it, this is what you make. In all the salary cap leagues, or like a free agent negotiation that's quote unquote a free market, even though only 4 teams are competing for you. Like this is a different thing than that. In salary capped leagues, you don't have something like this because you have a maximum salary and they're just going to pay you that or they're going to pay you the required amount that they have to pay you based on where they drafted you. Like, that's just not, aside from the fact that it's not really fairly compensating each person for their contribution to this revenue generation, it's also not that interesting. And I think salary arbitration is fascinating.
Yeah, I agree. Amid all this, the Tigers also sign Framber Valdez to a 3-year, $115 million deal. The Tigers' payroll now, I believe, over $200 million for 2026. Hang the banner.
Bro, it's so funny to pay Framber more money than Skubal.
I know.
After all this, he's going to make more than Skubal next year.
Yeah.
Talk about sinking your own argument. 8 hours before going into the salary arbitration hearing, being like, we must pay this guy $19 million.
I know.
You're paying a pitcher who is half as good as him more than Skubal filed at.
Yep.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Let's get some people with common sense in the room. I know I'm ranting now, but Skubal won, so I don't even have anything to be mad about. But even still, Skubal should now get to file again because of what they decided to pay Framber.
Yes, 100%.
And I think a lot of people took them handing the Framber contract out as if these things could ever be so perfectly aligned, but took them handing the Framber contract out as a signal to the rest of the world that they thought they were going to win the Skubal case because they would have $13 million extra dollars.
And the next day, the arbitrator was like, nope.
Perhaps Mr. Illich is just really happy with pizza sales this year. Sold a lot of pizzas. What is that tracker like when the DC pizza orders go up? We're like, oh, fuck, we're going to war.
Yeah, it's like the Pentagon pizza tracker or whatever.
Could be a great year for pizzas because the entire international order is collapsing.
Someone get in on Little Caesars stock now.
Is Little Caesars publicly traded? Caesars Entertainment Incorporated.
No.
CZR is their stock ticker.
Wait, no,
Oh no, that's
Caesars though. The yes.
So Little Caesars is not publicly traded. I was gonna say, what are we doing? We're publicly trading the stock for pizza. How far we've fallen.
Sorry, I'm just on the product section of the Little Caesars Wikipedia page.
Anything interesting?
Not really. In case you were wondering.
The product section makes it sound like it's a tech company.
You mean pizza by the foot isn't a piece of technology to you?
Move fast, bake stuff?
Wow. Oh my God.
Okay.
End the pod right now.
Should we talk about Clase?
Yeah.
What's going on with this case? David Purdom, who writes about gambling for ESPN, has a follow-up on the ongoing saga of Emmanuel Clase intentionally spiking certain pitches to rig gambling events. Purdom said, indicted Cleveland Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Clase is accused of throwing suspect pitches. I've seen some Mets pitchers over the years who have thrown some suspect pitches, let me tell you, to benefit bettors in at least 48 games over 2 years, significantly more than was initially revealed by federal prosecutors, according to a court document filed Thursday. With each passing update to this story, each passing day, it becomes more and more systemic, and it becomes more and more flagrant that MLB either ignored it or is asleep at the wheel of what is going on with the infiltration of betting into the sport. And it also becomes more and more disqualifying to continue to deepen partnerships with these sports books while they don't even have a grasp on what is going on currently in the game. And yet, this is seemingly making no impact across the league in how operations are being run. Am I crazy about that? Because when I saw this story, I was like, this feels like it at least necessitates a pause on our approach to gambling and our policies around it. But I suppose we're so far down the rabbit hole that that's something that can't even logistically be done.
Yeah, he was spiking pitches in like a quarter of the games that he was participating in. and texting bettors before the game, being like, "Are you ready to bet on this game that I'm about to throw for you?" Is it like, how does it get worse than this? Is it like a whole team involvement?
I mean, or like it's trying to lose games entirely. I mean, I
Right.
suppose you could make you could thread a very thin needle. Is that how it works? You put the needle through the thread? You thread the needle?
Thread the
That's
needle.
right. That's
Mhm.
the saying.
Yeah. I don't think
I'm
the
always
size
doing
of the
this
needle
thing.
matters.
No, I think it does because it's harder to get the thread through a thinner needle.
All right. Yeah, but I think needles in general are pretty thin. I think that even threading a regular needle is difficult. I suppose
Think
it is
about how
much
hard it is
harder.
to thread a thinner needle. I'm always like adding my own like
Yeah,
rhetorical flair onto a saying and
It's like
wondering
trying
whether
to
it breaks
thread
the
a thin
saying.
needle with a thick rope.
I think threading a thin needle is harder. I'm just gonna be honest, as a guy who's never sewed anything. That's not actually true. I took a lot of home ec classes in middle school and high school, and we had to sew. But it was mostly on a machine, so I wasn't really
Yeah.
doing much of the
Cheating.
threading. It is kind of cheating, right? Like, you want it to be hand sewn? That's how you make the big bucks.
Mhm. Is it?
I mean, I've paid more for hand sewn things than machine sewn. So
What's you were threading a thin needle.
yes, I'm backtracking and I'm retracing my steps to see what I was going to say. You can thread the very thin needle and make the argument that Clase wasn't throwing games; he was just spiking pitches, which actually doesn't have an effect on the entire game. And given that he was one of the best relievers in baseball during this time period, I might give a little bit of weight to that argument. Like, I don't think he was trying to lose the game, but I do think that it obviously jeopardizes competitive integrity and trust in the sport. Because who's to say that he's not intentionally accidentally losing the game for them by putting himself in a lower leverage count and giving up a home run when otherwise he might not have? There's no way to prove it either way, whether this lost more games for the Guardians or not. I suppose the way that it gets worse is like we just repeat the Black Sox scandal. Like they're straight up losing the game. That doesn't really feel realistic, though. That doesn't feel possible to
Mhm.
have another Black Sox scandal. It would just be way too obvious and provable. Like StatCast would be like, none of the players are running as fast as they ran before. That's notable. Let's look into that. So this is probably about as close as you can get to the biggest scandal possible.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's, broadly speaking, far too much money on the line as it is to need to do that sort of thing. Like the Black Sox scandal was in part conceived out of some level of necessity on the players' part, right? Who basically said, we're getting screwed out over our owner anyway. We're getting screwed over by our owner anyway. Like, it doesn't feel like there is
The
an
Black Sox scandal was praxis.
you know? It doesn't feel like there's like an outsized opportunity for an entire team to get together and say, let's throw the game and not have it be massively obvious. You know, like the risks sort of outweigh the rewards here. But you're right, like on an individual
risks of
scale.
what Clase did outweigh the rewards too.
Well, yeah. He's facing up to 65 years in prison for this, which
Feels like the wrong outcome.
Is it too woke to be like, that seems kind of absurd?
No, I don't think it's too woke. I mean, I think he should probably never pitch in MLB again, but I
Sure,
really don't think that we should be in the business of throwing people in prison for their whole life.
Well, but like this is what happens when we legalize gambling, right? Is
Exactly.
you give federal jurisdiction over something that should largely be a sports integrity issue. Like you're
And it's
right.
also-
I don't think he should be able to be a professional baseball player again.
Right, you forfeited that privilege, sure, but this is also what happens when you kowtow to an industry faster than you evolve the society that it is existing in.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, I mean the laws and regulations and human behavioral education around how to interact with this industry. We obviously live in a financially accelerationist period of time, right? It's sports gambling on your phone. It's betting on the outcome of the Giannis destination on Kalshi while he is a stakeholder in the company. It's parlaying the outcome of a presidential election in Germany, United States, and the outcome of the Super Bowl. Like, these things are acceleration. These are symptoms of an accelerationist society. But I don't think it's too woke at all to be like, he probably shouldn't go to prison for 65 years for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he shouldn't go to prison for longer than Bernie Madoff.
Right, exactly.
He spiked 48 pitches. I mean, what are we talking about? Bernie Madoff spiked 10 years of the Mets if we just want to relate it to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know how many years Bernie Madoff got. He probably got more than 65. But did he croak it in jail? He did.
No, he's not still kicking?
Bernie Madoff? Bro, Bernie Madoff died on April 14th, 2021, and we almost definitely did like a half an episode about it.
Fuck. I can't believe this is how I found out.
He got 150 years in federal prison. So you're telling me that Clase is like, his was like half as bad as Madoff? Come on now.
Uh-huh.
Come on now. Free Bernie, free Clase.
Well, this is...
I know we're being a little glib about this, but like,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I don't want to make the personal responsibility argument. You know, I hate respectability politics. You know this about me. I just think, like, for example, if you're betting on whether or not Giannis is getting traded on an unregulated betting market.
You're saying we do have to sometimes take responsibility for our actions.
Maybe you got what you asked for.
An interesting take.
I don't think there are any good actors in this. I think Kalshi is as responsible as Giannis, is as responsible as MLB, as FanDuel, as Clase, right? It's like, but
notably,
the
you left out Caesars.
Fuck, you're right. There's
Caesars
no culpability in my mind. Yeah, I love their pizzas. But I think it's important that when we talk about these things,
and I love the genre of music, hard rock. Thank you, hard rock.
I just think we should be careful of accepting the company line on these things, that when something goes wrong, it is specifically dependent on one bad actor who pulled the wool over everyone else's eyes, right? And that no one could have seen this coming, and therefore, if we get rid of this person and people like him, then we'll be in the clear. Then the rest of us good apples will be fine.
Yes, that's how you prevent any cretinous company from being truly defeated, from being rooted out of society altogether. So you just say, well, it's just this is not how it was intended to be used.
Mm-hmm.
And I think intent kind of doesn't really matter in this circumstance.
Yeah.
If the opportunity is there to exploit it beyond its intended use, then that's how it's going to be used. We've seen this enough times, especially when there's money and the idea of addiction that could be involved. I have no idea why Clase did this. No idea. But it kind of doesn't matter. Like, if he was ARB and making no money, would that mean I was more comfortable with the idea that he did this? Or like, if he was in significant familial debt and needed to do this to get his money out of debt, would I understand it more? Yeah, totally. But would that mean that this is any better of a system and how it's set up? No, because it's still ripe for exploitation, no matter whether the reason for the exploitation is because someone needs the cash now or because they're stupid, which either of those things are true here. I don't know enough. Either of those things could be true here. I don't know enough about the situation. But that still doesn't change the ultimate outcome. It still doesn't change how damaging it is to the idea of integrity in this sport, which, by the way, we have grandfathered in so much of a social safety net for this sport. We have given them trillions of dollars to operate their businesses. And we also have had the Supreme Court tell them, like, you guys are good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how they've repaid it. Illegal bribery. All but league-sponsored illegal bribery. Like we let the mafia run rampant for like a couple decades there. We got some good movies out of it or whatever. But like, I don't think the Supreme Court gave the mafia an antitrust exemption.
You never know.
I mean,
Uh,
certainly local politicians did give the mafia a lot of money to build stuff that they didn't end up really building for anyone but themselves. That definitely did happen. So one strike.
the trial for this case starts in May.
I'm dreading it.
I have a feeling we probably don't get there, that he pleads down to lesser charges and a lifetime ban. I think there would be a lot of dangerous precedents that would be set if this thing went to trial. That also just would be chaos, I think, in a year where Major League Baseball does not need that sort of thing. But we'll see. I don't know. Absent from this conversation is Luis Ortiz, who, when the story broke, seemed like the other co-conspirator in this whole scheme, and now seems to have maybe been just, I don't know, a minor player who got sucked into Clase's orbit. It's a little unclear, but Ortiz is asking that his case be tried separately from Clase's,
because they have, quote, markedly different levels of culpability.
Yeah, which seems to be the case. We've only gotten more info on Clase, and Ortiz's participation seems to have been limited to a couple games.
Clase himself has identified at least 250 pitches on which bets were placed. It's a lot of pitches.
That's insane, dude. That is insane.
It's a lot of pitches.
It's unfortunate that there's nothing we can do about this.
Yeah. where all my legalize and regulate heads at?
Mm-hmm.
Where they at? All right. Last thing on the agenda. Tampa Bay Rays. They're building a new stadium. Apparently, they got a new owner. The new owner, he builds houses, right? That was his thing. He's like a real estate guy.
He's a real estate guy. I wouldn't just say he builds houses. That feels a little too generous.
Ezra Klein,
yeah.
Derek Thompson. They're out there building houses, cutting red tape all across this great country. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Zalewski, Klein, Derek Thompson.
DeSantis.
Wait, that's a fourth person. You've changed my whole concept of the mystery of faith.
I know.
There's a fourth.
Open your third eye, brother.
Fuck, dude. Even the Holy Trinity is opening up their relationship.
Mm-hmm. I said pack the Holy Trinity.
I was going for more of a ethical non-monogamy joke, and you were going for a Supreme Court packing joke. And that's what you come here for, everybody. That's what you come here for.
Oh my gosh. Yes, the Rays would like to build a new ballpark on the Dale Mabry campus of Hillsborough College. And would you believe it, Bobby? You know what we got this week?
My favorite thing on earth.
Music to our ears, music to our eyes. We got some renderings.
The Rays on Thursday released the first renderings of their proposed ballpark and mixed use, sorry, I can't even say this, mixed use district on the Dale Mabry campus of Hillsborough College. This is from Adam Berry, the Rays beat reporter for MLB.com. I gotta say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. What does this look like and sound like to you, Alex? Does this sound like Laney College 2.0 or what?
Mm-hmm.
All of these renderings always so bright. Looks like people's renderings of heaven, you know, like just got a glimpse of what heaven looks like. Like you tweet that kind of meme out, and it's like, this is what it looks like. The rendering of the Rays Stadium. Open concept, a lot of glass on this building. Perfect for a area of the country that gets repeatedly smashed by hurricanes. You definitely want as much glass as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sort of a roof over top that looks like it's ready to be ripped off by gale force winds.
God.
I think it's a great rendering. I would love to play baseball there.
I think I agree, but I don't actually know because the only thing they haven't released renderings of is the field itself.
Yeah, the inside. You can see it sort of through the roof in one of the renderings.
But I was more interested in the mixed use development around the stadium anyway, because I'm really curious about what this is going to do to the local economy.
Well, I have more information for you on that. Do you want to hear?
Please.
This is from the Rays themselves. This is going to be a vibrant destination neighborhood.
Oh, fuck. Wait, is it actually going to be vibrant?
So like when I'm looking for a neighborhood, right? Like there's two things I'm looking for, right? It either has to be vibrant or it either has to be a destination. And if I come across the rare neighborhood that's a vibrant destination neighborhood, look, I'm just going to drop everything and move there. And not only is it a rare, vibrant destination neighborhood, it's going to blend baseball, education, and culture into a walkable district that brings people together well beyond game days. Talk about a holy trinity: baseball, education, and culture.
DeSantis and Manfred appeared together at a press conference this week, both expressing their support for the project. Worth noting, or maybe not, your mileage may vary, that Tarik Skubal and Dreamfinders have both given money to Ron DeSantis over the years, including for his failed presidential run.
I think you
Which
mean
one?
failed so far.
So far, yeah. His plans are measured in decades.
Society might come all the way around on his choice of shoes. Those boots, you know. Let me read you what I thought was a really compelling paragraph in the article about this on MLB.com.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if you can parse this one for me. I'd like you to translate
Okay.
for the humble listener of Tipping Pitches.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
In a press release revealing the initial renderings, the Rays reiterated that they view the ballpark. This is sort of like my understanding of the ballpark. They view the ballpark project as a public-private partnership, classic PPP, public-private partnership, with costs shared by the team, the county, and the city of Tampa. But the mixed-use development will be 100% privately financed.
Oh.
Let me just run that back for you. The Rays view the ballpark project as a public-private partnership with costs shared by the team, the county, and the city of Tampa. But the mixed-use development will be a 100% privately financed.
Interesting, but it's going to be a public-private partnership.
With costs shared by the team and the county and the city of Tampa.
But the mixed-use development, I want to be clear, is going to be privately financed.
Yeah.
Oh, so then we're all good here. I have no more questions.
So like someone has to pay for the restaurants, but the Tampa taxpayers are paying for the stadium. That's how I read that. The stadium's the expensive thing. You can build a fucking fancy hot dog stand anywhere at any time with not that much money.
But you haven't even brought up the $34 billion in economic impact over the next 30 years. Convenient that you're leaving that out. You know, economic impact. That thing that citizens are always looking for. They're like, look, I really like my neighborhood, but I really wish it was being impacted in a greater economic way.
Listen, do you want to be a revenue generator or not? Some hard decisions are going to have to be made.
I know.
Okay? These steel beams aren't going to put themselves up. Someone's got to pay for it. And our man Ron is going to come swing in and write that
true.
check.
That's always what I say about steel beams. They're not going to put themselves up.
They're not going to put themselves up, dude. Certainly Zalewski doesn't have the money to put up some steel beams. He's one of our broker owners. 1.4 billion. He's only worth 1.4 billion. He's going to give the people of Tampa 34 billion over the next 30 years.
Sort of a Robin Hood figure.
You know he's 44.
Jesus.
Clock's ticking, dude. You got 14 more years to acquire an MLB franchise. I was right. He is a home builder. Dreamfinders Homes is a publicly traded home builder. He builds homes. He builds homes. It's a fucking American story. It's American.
He builds assets, brother.
How many duplexes do you think? Oh, he turned 45.
So many.
I'm sorry. You have 15 years. You're good.
Whew.
I think he was 44 when he took over.
We're in the clear.
You have 15 years before you secure a public-private partnership for your new stadium and get some renderings out there. You got an extra year.
31,000 seats. Not that many seats. But it is being sold as, quote, the most intimate stadium in Major League Baseball, which is a really funny thing to say about the stadium you're building for a team that no one goes to see. They're like, actually, we're just going to put fewer seats in this stadium.
I like it.
They solved the problem.
Intimate. Candlelit ballpark.
You know what? I will say, I'm already getting an intimate experience with my AI avatars. I'm talking to all the players one-on-one.
How intimate are we talking?
I don't need your glass ceiling. Shh. You don't want to know.
You and Brent Suter are exploring the deeper parts of each other's personalities.
Oh.
Last thing here.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone listening to this to forget this point here. The Rays are going to be strengthening their regional identity with a modern, distinctive ballpark that reflects where baseball belongs, at the heart of our growing community.
Dude, I want to write these press releases so bad.
And you actually write press releases for a living, so you could smash this.
It's true. I would kill it.
I think frankly, the Zalewskis of the world are leaving money on the table by not employing us to write this for them. We could do even better.
For less. I'll do it for less.
Way less. By the way, Alex could do the renderings for you at this point.
Literally,
I'm looking at this. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. You know have you seen the Colin Cowherd meme? We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Tell that to the big architectural firms that you're paying $10 million a year to. We're good. Alex, he's got it. We're good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't need my baseball stadiums to blend baseball education and culture. I just don't. That's not what I'm going to the game for. Nope. To learn shit?
I'd like my city to have education, but I don't need my baseball team to be the one providing it.
It's the Dave Rubenstein playbook.
Dave Rubenstein.
Mm-hmm.
How's that working out?
I'm rebranding him.
Okay. Last thing on this. Alex and I have been wanting to do a podcast episode about renderings. More than just talking about it for 20 minutes every time we get new renderings. We want to do a whole episode about the process of a baseball team going to an architectural firm, telling them what they want, and the architectural firm giving them these designs. We want to understand how that happens. We want to talk about why all these renderings look like this. And if you've ever seen these renderings, you know they all look the same. And we want to talk about, we'd like to get under the hood of how these renderings are straight up not predictive at all about what the ballparks end up looking like and how the project unfolds. And we have been trying to do this podcast episode like legitimately for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't find a guest to come on the podcast to talk about it. We have reached out probably to the people that you're thinking of when I say this idea.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have not had success. So if you are listening to this and you are an architecture critic, a former architect, someone who knows someone who is an architect, who is good at talking on a podcast, someone who knows a recommendation for who should come on and talk about this, even if we've already reached out to that person, we'll still take that submission. Please email us, tippingpitchespod@gmail.com, and let us know how we can talk to someone to make this episode happen, because otherwise it's just going to be me and Alex making fun of the renderings for 75 minutes straight, which might be a good podcast episode, probably better for Patreon, though.
We're ready to do it. We're doing the work.
I'll do it if I have to. We've been trying to do journalistic work here. All right. We're trying to figure out how these things happen. The A's stadium, how do we get those renderings? It's not going to look like that. It's not going to look like that. This stadium's not going to look like that. They never end up looking like this. These are doodles. It's a whole cottage industry. It's a whole funny money economy. No one actually has to do anything. This is not real. We want to talk about that. So please email us if you can support us making that episode. That is my humble, impassioned plea to you, the listener. I want to do this episode so bad. So bad.
It's true.
White whale.
Reach out, shoot us an email, tippingpitchespod@gmail.com, slide into the DMs, hit our phone line. You know where to find us. We're ready and waiting with open arms.
I have one last thing to send us out on, which is that I didn't get a chance to find a way to bring up John Henry on the podcast at all this week. Usually we find a way to work in some legumes chat, some lima beans futures. That's usually a box that we check every episode.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to do it this week. So instead of dropping it mid-episode, I'm going to play us out on a new ukulele jingle. This time, not about Bob Castellini, but about Fenway Sports Group chairman John Henry himself. This is from longtime listener and friend of the show, and frankly, longtime contributor to the show, Shane. We'll talk to you next week.
John Henry grew up in the soy fields, trading futures, trading stocks, till one day he achieved his boyhood dream, one day owning the Red Sox. He's the smartest guy in the room, with a pocket full of legumes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alex Rodriguez. Tipping pitches.
Tipping pitches.
This is the one that I love the most.
Tipping pitches.
So we'll see you next week. See ya!